Well, Cristall is certainly a prime example of that, and I already had the chance to catch up with him this morning, saw that missing tooth and everything. So let's now take a look at my conversation with Andrew Cristall. Well, Andrew, welcome back into D.C., and thanks for joining us today. It is the middle of the summer, and you just walked up here with a missing tooth already, full hockey fashion all the way through. But what's been going on with you this summer?
Yeah, not a whole lot. Obviously missing a tooth, so that's a little bit different this time around. But yeah, just been back home after the season and after going to Hershey for a little bit, and yeah, just resting and getting ready for camp.
Well, you certainly had an incredible season in the WHL. Lots of talk, 132 points, led the league in scoring. What led to really the consistency and the confidence that you were able to have this season?
Yeah, I think for me, it kind of just started with training camp here, and I thought I kind of took some steps and grew a lot with my game, and just kind of going back to the Western League, I thought I was pretty confident in that league and kind of knowing what to do, and I got put in a pretty fortunate spot in Spokane after the trade deadline, and I've been playing with some really good players, really special players, and we had a great team, so that's definitely helped me a lot too.
Well, the first official day of development camp here. You've been through this before, but what are your expectations for this week?
Yeah, I think the same as the past two I've been at, just kind of be a sponge and learn. I think, there's so many, great staff and people who work for the team here that, want to help you out and just kind of ask questions and, have fun too.
You mentioned you've obviously been to the past 2 years as well. So how does maybe your role kind of change? Still focused on your success and your growth and development, but maybe taking in some of those draftees, some of those younger guys under your wing in a position that you were in 2 years ago.
Yeah, it's huge. I think that's a big thing, about the whole organization of the Caps. I think everyone, has to be a good person first and a good teammate. So, being maybe a little bit of an older guy here, just kind of talking to, all the young guys, all the players who got drafted, not drafted, who, our first time here, and as well as kind of maintain some relationships that I had before. So I think that's a big part of this year for me, is kind of just, getting to know everybody and, making them, feel welcome.
Talking about the relationships, after juniors, you were sent to Hershey as a Black Ace. I know your time there was short, but what did you benefit from just being in the locker room, being around those guys, and kind of absorbing that information on a daily basis?
Yeah, lots. I think, going there, it's just kind of shows you what the next level is like, what pro hockey's like. And I was there last year for a little bit of the playoffs as well, and just seeing them put in the work and, what they're able to do is pretty special going back to back. And just a really special group, and they're all super nice, super welcoming to me and all the other prospects who went, so it was a lot of fun.
Well, you'll get to see some of those Hershey coaches this week. Head coach Spencer Carberry around as well. What's your relationship like with him and the Capitals coaching staff? Yeah,
it's really good. I thought last camp he and all the rest of the staff were super communicative to me, and let me know where I was at and how I was playing, what I need to do better, what they like to see, and first and foremost, they're really great people, and they're obviously pretty remarkable coaches as well. So it's really fun to learn from them and try and get some insight, because they got a lot of information.
You mentioned that training camp you had. It was the talk of this organization. It was obviously exceptional. So as you come into the rest of this year, training camp in a few months, what's maybe your mindset to prove that you can make this Washington Capitals team?
Yeah, I think last year was a good step for me, and just kind of getting integrated a little bit, and I think I have a lot more to give and a lot more to prove as well, and I think if I have an even better camp, it'll give me a good chance to make the team, and if not, I'll try and go play in Hershey and make an impact there. But yeah, obviously for me the goal is to make Washington have a good training camp.
Well, it should be a great, fun week here. Andrew, thanks so much for joining us today, and we'll definitely see more of you later this week.
Yeah, thank you.